invasive species can be any kind of living organism that are not native to an ecosystem and causes harm. They can harm the environment, the economy, or even human health. One example of this is the duckweed.
Duckweeds are small, fragile, free-floating aquatic plants. However, at times they grow on mud or water that is only millimeters deep to water depths of 3 meters. Their vegetative reproduction can be rapid when nutrient densities are optimum. They grow slowly where nutrient deficiencies occur, or major imbalances in nutrients are apparent. They are opportunistic in using flashes of nutrients and can put on growth spurts during such periods. Duckweed species are small floating aquatic plants, found worldwide and often seen growing in thick, blanket-like mats on still or slow-moving, nutrient-rich fresh or brackish waters. They are monocotyledons of the botanical family Lemnaceae and are higher plants or macrophytes, although they are often mistaken for algae. Duckweeds have structural features that have been simplified by natural selection. A duckweed leaf is flat and ovoid. Many species have adventitious roots, which function as a stability organ and which tend to lengthen as mineral nutrients in water are exhausted.
Duckweeds tend to grow in quiet water, undisturbed by wave action. Often more than one species will be associated together in these colonies. It is eaten by humans in some parts of Southeast Asia. It contains more protein than soybeans, so sometimes it is cited as a significant potential food source. Some initial investigations to what extent duckweed could be introduced in European markets show little consumer objection to the idea. Duckweed plants appear to be a complete nutritional package for tilapia ponds. It is significantly more productive and easier to manage than traditional pond fish culture processes. It grows quickly and produces new offshoots rapidly. Dense populations are an important food source for aquatic waterfowl and fish, but can become a nuisance to humans.
Since invasive species are non-native species that causes harm to its new environment, some of them are considered as beneficial to some organisms. Duckweed is an important high-protein food source for waterfowl. The tiny plants provide cover for fry of many aquatic species. The plants are used as shelter by pond water species such as bullfrogs and fish such as bluegills. They also provide shade and can reduce certain light-generated growths of photoautotrophic algae. Photoautotrophs are organisms that can make their own energy using light and carbon dioxide by the process of photosynthesis. Usually, these are green plants. Since algae are important producers of oxygen, they can produce about half of the oxygen in the atmosphere. But too much algae flourishes in an algal bloom, and this will cause the disruption of the ecosystem by producing certain toxins and making nutrients less available. Another benefit is providing nitrate removal. Nitrates are considered to be a primary water quality contaminant. Excess nitrate in a water can cause excessive plant growth. When plant growth happens, plants will steal oxygen from water, causing the fish and other aquatic animals to die. Bioremediation is a branch of biotechnology that employs the use of living organisms in the removal of contaminants, pollutants, and toxins from soil, water, and other environments. So basically, it is used to clean contaminated water and oil spills. Since duckweed is invasive and it grows rapidly, it will help in absorbing excess mineral nutrients like nitrogen and phosphate. For this reason, they are touted as water purifiers. Lastly, these plants also may play a role in conservation of water because a cover of duckweed will reduce evaporation of water when compared to the rate of similarly sized water bodies with clear surface.
Despite some of these benefits, because duckweed thrives in high nutrient wetland environments, they can be seen as a nuisance species when conditions allow them to excessively proliferate in environments that are traditionally low in nutrients or oligotrophic. One example of these problems occurs within the Everglades, a mostly oligotrophic environment when excess chemicals that include fertilizers are carried by the storm runoff or surface runoff into its waterways. Urban runoff and agricultural pollution then begins to introduce increased levels of nutrients into the surrounding wetlands and waterways, which can cause a disruption to native ecology. These conditions allow for the invasion of a fast-growing species such as duckweed to establish themselves, spread, and displace other native species such as sawgrass, and over time, results in widespread changes to the ecology of native sawgrass and slow habitats within the Everglades. Many kinds of ducks consume duckweed and often transport it to the other bodies of water. Duckweed colonies provide habitats for microinvertebrates, but if duckweed completely covers the surface of a pond for an extended period of time, it will cause oxygen depletion. These colonies will also eliminate submerged plants by blocking sunlight penetration.
One of the best ways to control duckweed is to add its natural predators to the water and the area that surrounds it. Some of the most popular predators that like to eat duckweed are koi, goldfish, and grass carp. These predators won't get rid of larger duckweed problem, but they will help ensure that one of does not starve, or that a small amount of duckweed does not become larger. Using bubble aeration will discourage growth and kill duckweed plants that have already grown. Aerating a pond can also help reduce any foul odors associated with the water. You can physically remove duckweed from the surface of the water using a rake. Simply rake the leaves together and then remove them from the surface of the water. Waterfall might be pretty to look at it if you have a body of water on your property, but they can make a duckweed problem much worse. Waterfall feed on these plants, which means they often have some of it stuck to their feet, beaks, and feathers. There are safe chemicals options that you can use on duckweed to help stop colonies from growing. One of the chemicals on the market is called Sona, which contains a chemical called chloride. Another herbicide that can help with controlling duckweed is Duckweed, Peppermint, and Fluomosinide.